proofreading marks, when that's just a review, we've been using those. Then we're going to create an announcement. Now this is a new document you haven't done before. However, there are some aspects of it that we're going to be doing, like enhancing text using bold and underline. You're used to that point. And then we're going to start covering a whole lot of new things, the core Word basics that you need to do. They not only apply to Microsoft Word, but they also apply in PowerPoint, Excel, any of the Office programs. A lot of these things we're going over will help you in utilizing. Then if time permits, at the end of class, you're going to have a language and text and enhancement skills review. And that's where you'll just open a document using the bold and underline and choosing the proper grammar words to answer it. Okay? Right now I'm going to distribute a handout that is the proofreading marks. You go ahead, write your name on it, and then you are looking for at least 10 errors. There's possibly more, but this is kind of like how I've been doing. If you get what I'm looking for, then you get the A, and then you get a few bonus points if you find anything extra. After this, we're going to go over it together. We're going to check this together. And today our Promethean is back up and working, so we'll be having volunteers come to the board to show us how to use the proofreading marks. But I will do one for you since we haven't been able to use the pen, and today we'll be using it to correct the text. Okay, first off, it's pretty easy when we bring this up in a Microsoft Word. If you were to open it, it kind of signaled for you some of the things. What do y'all notice on this document? Okay, spelling, all right? So, spelling errors are underlined in the red. Okay, what are the green underlines? The spacing. That is one, and its grammar is the other way it's identified. Okay, so right here, it's kind of giving you a little hint, but you didn't have that on the paper. Okay, so let's look back up here at line 1. Andrew, tell me what's one of the errors that I'm going to have to correct. Okay, we got to correct school. And the mark we're going to use, and you have to hold it, and I'm pressing fairly hard on the board. I put the slash to change it, and then up above it, I'll write CH. Okay? So when you come use the pen, you can't be real light with it because it won't pick up your movements. Okay, so now I'm going to call on different ones, or else you can volunteer, and I'll come get you. All right, Cheyenne, come on. And you should be checking your neighbor's work. If they didn't put the mark correctly, please write over it to show them how to use it properly. Okay, thank you. So see, she used the parentheses kind of laid on their side. What does that proofreading mark mean? Close up. Okay. To use the switch symbol to switch around, that is terrible. You know, the terrible and that. Because the sentence read, but terrible, that kind of sounds like Yoda speaking or something, but you switch it around, and it should be that's terrible. Okay, Anthony, come to one, please. Okay, so he put an insert and an apostrophe. He's got the apostrophe in the correct spot, but generally, instead of putting the insert pointing down, he should have come down here and put it below, and then put the apostrophe up above. Okay? Did anybody have any questions about those so far? Okay, Gabe, why don't you come fix one for us, please? Tell us what you got.
I deleted U and I put AK to make one do it.
Okay. So here, he used the delete symbol to take out the U, and then he put an insert VHA. That is one way to correct it. I'm going to show you another way over here on the side, and this is what some of you, if it was W-U-T, you could have also used the change mark and then put H-A above it. So either way is fine, as long as you know you corrected the word and you understand how to correct it. Anybody else found another error? Okay, Cody? So there, the quotation marks got left off, so she put the insert symbol and put the quotation marks. Okay, anyone else find one other error? Okay, Shayla.
I closed up when the space was left without.
So she used the close up symbol for reply. Alright. Anyone else have another one? Alright, Andrew. Okay.
Deleted the W to add code.
So two, the Microsoft Word did not recognize it as a spelling error. So it didn't underline it in red. It didn't check the grammar and put it in green. But the word two was spelled T-W-O. It was the wrong tense of the word two, so we corrected it by taking out the W and writing the O. The other way, kind of like this one, you could have had the word and just do the delete symbol, and that should be good enough. Okay? But either way that it corrects it, it's fine. Okay, there's still another error. All right, Cheyenne, where your hand goes through the roof. Okay. So if you look at this last line, it says, by the way, what was it that your do? How many of you caught the your? Okay, a few of you did. Good. Some of you are going to have to improve your proofreading. And on this, Cheyenne, you should have put the loop to do a delete on it. But other than that, you did really well. You found the error and marked it. Okay, so this proves when you're doing in Microsoft Word and you're typing, it gives you some hints, but it's not going to catch everything. Obvious errors, it's going to underscore in red to show there's a misspelling. The green was for grammar. But even with all that, y'all remember before the holidays, we typed O2 the spell checker, and it said it had been ran through it and it was completely correct, but there was like 40-something errors in the paper. That means you're going to have to know your English and spelling to be able to proofread. And I talked about that when we start grading the papers. 0 errors will be the A. That means you're going to have to proofread after you type and look for your spelling. You could type your instead of you. I'm human, I make those mistakes sometimes too. We all do. So you're going to have to learn to check that. Okay, now I'm going to give you a handout. Y'all can switch your papers back to your neighbors so they can see what they got right. How many of you, by the way, identified, now I didn't say use the proofreading marks all correctly, but identified all 11 of the errors? Okay, a couple of you, very good, very good. Some of you see where you need to work on it and check. How many of you understand that there's a few obvious ones now that you look at it, it's like, boy, I wasn't paying attention. Okay? Now, this handout I'm giving you right now, it says we're going to work this together, and we will be. However, I do want you to complete steps 1 and 2 as it directs on the paper. This is just a review of opening up a file, doing some minor edit points to it, and we'll go over this together at the Promethean board as well. For volunteers to come do step 1 for us up here. It's not very hard, it's just open a document. Okay, Alexis. Okay, so step us through what you're doing.
Open the
went to the dot shortcut. This is where we've been going to. And then she opened up the IBCA folder. And then announcements, and then found the IBCA Christmas party. Did anyone need help getting there? Okay, great job. So y'all all accomplished one task. Okay, step 2 says complete the following steps and center vertically in the page. Okay, Katie, can you come do that for us, please? And tell us what you're doing. Page layout. Okay, so she's going to page setup or page layout, and then we'll go to page setup, expansion area. Okay, she went to that page setup expansion area. That's where somebody been having problems seeing the little arrow. Okay, she chose the layout tab. Okay, now what else has she's got to change once she gets here? Okay, Andrew?
Vertical alignment.
Okay, vertical alignment, and what are you going to change it to?
Center.
Center. Very good. Then click OK, and you will have it centered. So we already had the document typed. You're just editing, centering the document. Okay, now this next one, talk about selecting from the title through the text of guest speaker, the line of guest speaker. Connie, would you come do that for us up here, please? Okay, and then they want us to center it horizontally. Okay, Katie centered it vertically. That's between the top and bottom margins. Now, Tony, select from. Okay, first off, you got to select the text from save the date through your selected. No, just go all the way down to I'm a Grinch. No, just I'm a Grinch. There you go. Now go to Home tab. Okay, now Home tab is where you're going to have your center alignment buttons. It's been a while, but in the paragraph group, and then the center button right there. Anyone remember what the shortcut to center is? Okay, Tommy.
Control C.
Not quite Control C. That's something else, Cody.
Control E.
Control E is an elephant. Okay. Control C you'll be learning next week when we work with graphics, and that's copy. All right. Okay, so that's centering horizontally, and that meant between the left and right margin. We did the center button, or it's Control E. Okay, next we're going to be bolding our title. And by the way, the top line is generally your title. Okay? So let's see here. Tommy, would you come take care of that for us, bolding the title? Okay, and notice that Tommy used the shortcut menu right here, the little ghosted looking menu. You can do bold here, or what's the shortcut for bold? Control B, or the other option, you can come up here to the bold. Anybody have questions so far? Everybody seems to be doing pretty well. Okay. Now the next thing it talks about is selecting certain words and bolding them. Now I know you understand how to select just one word at a time with your mouse, like just clicking and dragging. But I want to show you is just double click a word and it'll select that one word. Then you can choose the bold here. That's one way. Or here is another one. And you're going to have to watch. I hope it shows up. I'm going to double click in the word event. So y'all double click the word event. Now listen carefully. On your keyboard is the control key. We've used it before. Hold down control and then double click the word time. And notice how it selected just that one word. If you need help, raise your hand. I'll come around and help you. Okay, then hold down control and you're going to double click on location. And then double click guest and then speaker. So there we have selected multiples using the command key control. Then once you have this, all you've got to do is press the bold. Okay, that's a little time saving tip. So does anyone need help? Everybody got this far? Okay, I'm coming just a moment. And you can help your neighbors. Most of you have been doing a good job of that. All right, the next thing that we want to take care of, we have bolded those And one that we didn't do, but I want you to double click on activities and just bold it. And then our next step is save it in document. Okay? Crystal, can you come help us save this, please? And here's one of the things you need to make sure, and I may have to help Crystal because my machine's set up different than y'all's. But remember, we go to File, Save As the first time that we save this document. So yeah, you're going to have to stretch. There you go, Save As. Getting a little physical exercise in this, huh? All right. Now you have to make sure, some of you haven't been doing this, you would have to go to Documents and then IBCA. Now for Crystal right now, since she's helping me, and mine doesn't have all the folders, she's just going to type right here, it should say IBCA Christmas Party, and she just has to press Save. For those of you out there, you have to go to Documents under Libraries and then save it. Does anyone need help saving your file? All right, good job. Now, turn your handout over, and we're going to be using some new aspects of Word. And I know most of you have been working in geometrics on PowerPoint training, and it talks about using styles, and some of you haven't gotten that far in it yet, but you will be. Yes, ma'am? Thank you, Alexis, for helping me. Okay, so I want y'all to look up here at the board, and we have talked about parts of the screen before, just briefly. This is starting out new. On your ribbon up here at the top, we have certain groups. We're used to working in the home group. Today we're going to be working in the home, insert, and the page layout groups, and we've been to a couple of these before. The first thing I want you to get familiar with is this styles group. Now we have changed fonts in here, we've changed sizes, we've also changed a little bit of the alignment in this position. But instead of us having to come up here and scroll down and find each one of these things, Office has certain templates set up that we can utilize. So I want you to come over here where it says Change Styles, press the down arrow. Now we're going to be working with style sets, the colors, and fonts today. I want you to click on Style Sets, and if you look on the back side of your handout, it says on step 3, part A, which style set do they want us to use? Okay, Fancy. So you're going to select Fancy. And then we go back to Change Styles. And you're going to choose Colors. And then you're going to choose Aspect. Now, one of the things I want to explain on this Colors, these are preset color choices that someone made up, and later on you will get to customize your own colors. But what will happen when we go to change our text colors later, it's going to have a select palette of colors for us to choose from. It won't be what the default set was. Okay, now we're going back up here to Change Styles, and we're going to go to Fonts. And Andrew, what font does it say we have to use there?
Morel.
Okay, Oriole. Now if you look, Oriole does not show up in the first selection. So you're going to just scroll down, which most of you have figured that out already. And you're going to have to scroll down towards where you find Oriole. You'll click on it, and you'll just notice a slight text change. It's not huge, just a little bit. Okay, so changing styles, this is where, and I just want to review this, where you access the set, the color, and the fonts. Tomorrow, you're going to come into class, and you're going to have one of these to do on your own, and it's going to give you, use whatever style set. You're going to have to know where to go find this. Okay, our next step on our sheet, step 4, tells us to select the title. That is save a date. You can just click to the left of it, and it'll select the entire title. Okay, so select your title. And then it tells us that we're going to choose title style. Now here's the thing. You see where this styles group is right here? Click the down arrow to expand it. And if you look underneath each one, there's different styles, and they said to use them when it says title. So you're going to select title, and notice it go ahead and it adds some color background. So select title. Then it's still selecting. They want you to bold it and do size 28. So we can come over here, click bold, and you can select size 28. Look at and read over below the title in where it says dates, guest speaker. And I want y'all to tell me something there you see we need to change. Just read over it, analyze it, and see what needs to be changed. Maybe something in the content. Okay, Shayla?
Do we change the time?
Okay, you see where it says time? What does it tell us right there?
Type your class time here.
Okay, so type your class time here. So you can select that. And then we can put in our class time. And you're going to put in 117 to 209. So once it's selected, you can just put 117 to 209. That is our class period. It's a big change from what was at the beginning of our document, with just the text. Where we're leading with this, announcements. When you walk down the hallway, you see all these pieces of paper. You may see them. I found out earlier some people don't even notice anything that's put out on the walls. But just tell me, what are some things that catch your attention when you're walking down the hallway and you see a sheet of paper on the wall? Anybody? Colors, fonts, anything else? What about bright paper? Okay, sometimes bright paper. Okay, pictures, and this was a true example a couple years ago, and I know most of you like pictures. You know, we're visual people. We like to see things. And there was a meeting that was called, and what usually attracts people to meetings? Like, if you want to show up, what do you give? Food. Okay, so this individual created a flyer, and they put this big slice of pizza on there. Okay, that triggers, hey, it says free, and it had the slice of pizza, and it said Mo's room. Tell me what was missing. No, pizza was on there, but in the message, what was missing? If you had just a slice of pizza, and it says free, and it has a pizza, and it says Mo's room, what would be missing? What do you need to know? Shayla?
When it is.
When it is, what else? Not just when. Okay, does it cost anything? It said free. Yeah, like how many you get. Okay, Tommy?
Where it is.
Where? Okay, it said where it was. Okay, maybe the room number. That's a good idea because not everybody knows my room. It's Mo's room. So the content was missing some vital information. So who all can come? Is it open to the entire school? Or is it just open to certain people? Okay? So when you start creating announcements, yeah, the graphic was great. It got everybody's attention because it said free pizza. And it didn't say where, but it didn't say what time. It didn't say what date. And then it didn't say who all's invited. Okay? So you got to think about these things. So that's why we have this section. It addresses all of that. The other thing, we talked about graphics. I want to show you what we're fixing to make. We went from the drab little plain text earlier. This is what you're fixing to add. You're going to add a graphic and a page border. Does this look a lot more attractive than that original little black text we had on our screen? Yes. So all these things we're doing today, you're going to actually get to make one of your own tomorrow. You're going to pretend you're having a Christmas party at your house. Okay? And you're going to create your own flyer. And I'll show you again how to get graphics other than one I give you today, just to save time with one of this. So we're going to go back and finish up here. So what was missing compared to the picture that we just showed you? What do we have left to add to this? Okay. The picture and the border. And that's the easiest part, or to me it's easy. So we're going to go up here to page layout. So please pay attention to this. Everybody on the page layout tab, if you need help, raise your hand. Neighbor can help you. Okay, page layout. And right here we have the page background. Do you see this little section, this group? There are several things. You can change page colors, but please don't, because that wastes a lot of ink. But we're going to go to page borders. Now here's one thing I want to get you familiar with this window. You could choose over here, and if I chose box, notice it puts a box all the way around it. If I didn't want it, I could choose none and it goes away, and later we'll work more in detail. But I want to get to the cool stuff. That's what y'all are all about, right? Let's make it fun. So let's come down here to art. And we drop down, we don't want apples or cupcakes. This has to do with a party, but it's a Christmas party. So let's scroll down, and you're going to find one. Oh, I'm going too far. There's like these big flowers, and then below the poinsettias, there's the holly. Can y'all see that? Those like little holly leaves with berries. I just clicked down by the artwork. I slid down. You find the bats. Surely y'all recognize the bats. Then there's like tulips, and I don't know, some big red flower, poinsettias, and then a holly. Select the holly. And notice it puts these little holly branches around it as a border. But here's the thing, if I actually applied it right now, those little holly leaves are so tiny, they just look like little dots. I want to change the size, so where it says width, I want to change this to 20. And as you notice, as you bump it up, can you start seeing the holly a little clearer? So I want to go on up to 20. And when you get there, click OK. And there's our holly. I do want y'all to go to File and press Save right now before we lose anything. And I want to just show you, I want you to always make sure everything fits on one page. Right now, our announcement's fitting on one page, but we're going to waste a blank sheet of paper, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to come back up here, and this is some of the other things you might have to do. Once you create it, you might have to shrink some of your text. So maybe just select this section. Maybe. I did. Mine didn't work. Okay, yours may have worked. How many of you got it to come back up if you click at the end and hit delete several times? Okay, so I might have to be better off if you click down here on this paper. Do y'all see where mine went at the bottom of this paper? I just hit backspace until I get there. Okay, so you should have that all fixed. I want you to save it. And if you have some issues with this, I'll come around and help you individually. So you're going to save this. Tomorrow when you come into class, you're going to get another handout. It'll be similar, but the only thing is, I'm just going to tell you where to find things, but you get to have free choice of choosing your style sets, your font styles. And remember, you're making a flyer for a Christmas party you're hosting at your house. Okay, not for real. I'm being, it's just for pretending. Okay, did y'all have any questions? Y'all are good? Okay, so it's about time for us to go. So you can go ahead and make sure you saved it. I want you to pass your proofreading handouts down to the end of the row. And you pass those instruction sheets. So the proofreading handouts down first. I will pick those up, then I'll come back and get your instruction handouts. Yes, ma'am? Okay, now y'all can go ahead, close this file that you have open. Yes, sir. Okay, I'll come back. And you can go ahead and log off for today.